guys, hope you guys had a good weekend. Had a pretty uneventful but also eventful day today. Let's take a look at where we're at here. So this is the 13-week long now support line that dates back to the V-shaped recovery. So I mentioned that Apple last week had broken through this on the daily, but not on the weekly yet. So today, SPY finally broke through its recovery. So here we are right here. So let's go ahead and finally get rid of that line. So the other big thing that happened today is we not only broke through 390, which is at 390.2 is where we were really stopping at right here. We also finally just broke into 380. We hit 388.4 today as the low right here. We closed below this nice 391 resistance level, so that gives us an open side now to play from 391 all the way down to really 360s, 370s. So that's kind of where my head's at right now. We are forming a falling wedge right here with this black, so this is going to be key to watch tomorrow if we can't break below 387.7 and if we break out above 394. I suspect that we will fall through this support here. It's only a 2-day long support, but it's just something to keep an eye on. The overall red down channel here that you can see is still intact. It gives support tomorrow down at 382, and it gives resistance tomorrow at 401.2. Overall, if you look at this daily chart, it's obviously pretty bearish, and it really does look like we're kind of seeing a sell-off like we had back in March. We haven't really had the sideways like we had here though. It's just been kind of a nice sell-off. So we're just going to keep an eye on all this. Overall, I said last week, until we break 390, I was bullish. Well, we broke 390 today, so now I'm officially bearish. I would love to see a close under 390 tomorrow though. The weekly is still holding this 13-week long support though. However, we have not broken through that yet, surprisingly. But we are working our way down here. So same thing, 390.2 is that key support on the weekly that we really need to break through and close under to really signify the next downside. However, on futures, we did break through this weekly, and so did Apple. So we really should be opening ourselves up to downside. Over the next 2 to 3 weeks, really, so it's 1, 2, 3, I'm really expecting us to get down to about 368 to 370, which should touch the weekly 200 EMA. That's kind of the trajectory I'm on right now. And I'll talk about it at the end why. So looking at futures, same thing. We have this nice falling wedge going right here. It gives key support tomorrow at, we'll call it 38.81, and key resistance at 39.43. So key support we did not close under yet though is 3,900. I would like to see a close under 3,900 to really confirm that the next downside is coming. It's possible it comes tomorrow though. But we broke that same, this is that same dotted line in SPY that we broke through that. We're within the red channel right here down still. So it gives support today, tomorrow at 38.18 and resistance right here at 40.23. Overall, when you go to the weekly, I'm pretty much bearish on the overall week and next week until we break that 40.25 level. If we were to end this week over 40.25 for some reason, then I might change my thesis that we actually might go back up into the 4200s, but I don't think that's going to happen. So why I don't think that's going to happen is you see the weekly here broke through finally this 13-week long support here. So now that we're through that support, we really need to just take out 3,900, and then we're going to open ourselves up to this 38.30 support, and then eventually come down here to the weekly 200 at 36.76. So this is my 2 targets over the next couple weeks here, hopefully by end of September. Looking at Apple, Apple finally closed below its daily 200 EMA. It took 2 days to do it, but it finally did it. So that's a pretty bearish indicator for me, and that's something long term that I'm more bearish because of Apple breaking and closing below its 200 EMA, especially knowing that Apple Day is tomorrow. And you would think with Apple Day that it actually would be a kind of bullish day, but Apple actually struggled and was looking fairly more bearish than SPY was. Key support tomorrow is going to be right here at 153.2 and resistance at 156. The weekly, same thing. We broke through this recovery support line here, and the next weekly support we really need to take out is 154. We did break through it temporarily today, just very, very briefly, but we need to see a close below 154, and we should start looking for 150.5 and eventually 145.6. If you look at this sell-off that's starting here, comparing it from March to June, we're in the same sort of trajectory right now. We should be heading down. So, I mean, I had that purple line I was telling you guys about, but yeah, it shows that we really could be seeing the 120s by end of October. Looking at the VIX today, the VIX had a massive day again. So it actually started off pretty low. We tested that 25.5 level, and then from there it just skyrocketed. And we actually made a new high, that 27.8 today. And we did close over this key 26.8 level. So that really opens the upside. And we broke through, which was the potential. This wasn't a confirmed resistance line using this support right here. So that kind of gives us an open side here. You can see we're in a trajectory to really pretty much by end of September be above 30. If not, I mean, by next week be over 30. So looking at Bitcoin, Bitcoin broke a major support today. So this support uses the low from the 2020 COVID crash and then the low from, I guess you could call it the 2022 crash, which is back in June. And it actually broke through that level, and in the next 17 minutes is going to attempt to close below it, which would be below 18.9K. So from here, now that this level is broken, it opens us up to this downside of seeing the 17s again. With Bitcoin making, after this almost week and a half long consolidation right here, making this breakdown, that should mean that SPY is about to also make its next breakdown. So a couple things real quick that I'm watching for. If you look at FOMOC and CPI historically, and I talk about this in my written TA that's available on Discord and Reddit if you want to read it for the numbers itself. But in short, it basically says the week before CPI or before FOMOC, which is next week, is historically red, averaging about 3 to 5% usually red. And the couple days before CPI is usually also red, usually averages about a 2 to 3% drop over 2 days. So you can see how extensive those drops can be and how much bigger they can be. So we have the perfect storm coming up. We have CPI a week from today on the 12th, or sorry, the 13th, and then 8 days after that we have FOMOC on the 21st. So with all that being said, there is a very high probability that we're going to see an extensive sell-off over the next 2 weeks. The reason I think that, if you look at the CPI forecast, there is no forecast right now. There's no consensus. Usually that consensus and forecast is up at least 2 weeks before the actual CPI is due, which is less than a week now. So I think the CPI is going to be terrible, and they're going to forecast it to be up in the 9s again. And when that forecast finally hits the market, it's going to make us drop. It's going to be the reason we sell off, and then we sell off into CPI, and then we sell off into FOMOC, and then we probably will see a small relief rally after FOMOC is my guess. So that's kind of how I'm playing it. I am holding a 15 DTE 390 put right now because of that and expecting a bigger downside. My goal is to sell it somewhere down here in the 370s, the low 370s. So, all right, hope you guys had a good day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for tuning into this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like what you saw, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button to stay updated. I am providing my Discord link right here. That's a lifetime link. If it doesn't work, go ahead and send me a message and I will get you a new link. I do have a pre-market update I do every day where I update with supports and resistances and different scenarios that might play out through the day. I also do a live commentary throughout the day with updates and changes, and I do push out buy and sell alerts on SPY and other tickers that I'm trading at the time. Currently, membership is $20 per month or $228 per year. You can follow me on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok under SPY Optionaire, or Reddit under Daddy Dirch.